What's up, everybody? My name is Aiden, and welcome back to another video. Ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to be discussing the Chicago Bulls and Milwaukee Bucks game reaction, in which the Chicago Bulls delivered one of the worst, and I truly believe this in every sense of the word, one of the worst performances of the season. And Milwaukee were very average today as well. Yet it still felt like we got dismantled and destroyed in this game. Now, apart from a couple of parts in this game where the Bulls did come back, at one point we had the lead in this game. So it wasn't all doom and gloom for the Chicago Bulls, but so many lackluster performances from some players today, in my eyes, is just simply unacceptable. But before we get any further, if you like the video and you want to see more from me, drop a like, drop a follow, and or subscribe if you are new, and let me know in the comments below your thoughts about the Chicago Bulls game today, your player of the game, your thoughts and opinions on how poorly the Bulls played. We lost this game 118 to 109, and you might look at this game and say, hey, look, 9 points, that's not terrible. But if you watch the game, I think you could understand where I'm coming from here. This game was not fun to watch from the very beginning to the very end. Yes, there were some stretches where the Bulls fought back. I'm not going to discredit some guys for fighting in this game. Guys like Ayo, guys like Kobe, guys like Vooch. These guys fought. Javon Carter. These guys fought. Torrey Craig. These guys fought. Patrick Williams. These guys fought. Andre Drummond even. To an extent, he fought. These guys all played hard in the game, but some guys simply just let them down today, and it caused one of the most frustrating games to watch in this, I guess, season thus far. And we've had a lot of bad games, ladies and gentlemen, but this one, in my opinion, was very frustrating to watch. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because we're versing the Bucks and that's a rivalry game. Maybe it's because the guys that were former Bulls players took over in Bobby Portis and stuff of that nature. Maybe it was just the fact that we locked down Damian Lillard and we still got clapped in this game. I don't know what the answer is, but whatever the case may be, we struggled big time in this game, and it was just a miserable watch in general. And there's one thing I didn't want to hear. I said it in the watch along. I don't want to hear quotes coming out from the Chicago Bulls saying we will never let that happen again, or that things weren't clicking and we'll get back on the right track and stuff like that. I don't like hearing that from the Chicago Bulls team, because no matter what they say, they never keep the word. They never ever practice what they preach. They never ever have sustainable performances where they actually live up to the comments that they said. One thing, I'm gonna target out DeMar DeRozan here. No disrespect to DeMar DeRozan. He had a bad game, one of the best highlight passes I've ever seen in a game, but a really bad game overall, right? DeMar DeRozan said in the very first game where we got blown out by the OKC Thunder, he said, I promise that will never happen again. We went on to proceed to let that happen again numerous times for the Chicago Bulls. And now he said something like this after a bad game. In quotes, he said, I know it's going to turn around for me and Zach LaVine. Now, fair play for your confidence, DeMar DeRozan. And again, that's why you are where you are. You got confidence upon confidence. You're getting paid big money. But let's be honest. Let's be honest here. That was an awful display. And yes, you may not see Zach and DeMar both have equally bad games today. You might not see that happen again. But I don't see things turning around for both of you. The big three for 2 years, 3 years even, have not played well together. It's a fact. The stats are there. It's proven at this point that the big three do not play well together. When one or two of them have good games, the other one will struggle. When one of them has an excellent game, the other two will struggle. They don't play well together. Normally, when the big three all have 20 plus points, we win games like this. But we never, very rarely ever see it. And again, the net rating is proof in the pudding right there. So I don't want to hear that. And I don't like when, you know, as soon as we lose big, they're trying to give us comforting thoughts and comforting quotes. Like they didn't just not try for half a game and stuff of that nature. But it's all going to be okay. It's okay. Sit down, relax, go to sleep, enjoy your couple days off. We'll be back. We'll be back. We'll be ready to play again. And we're only going to win a game maybe against Orlando. Then we're going to lose the next game against Orlando. But it's okay. The Bulls are coming back. It's all right. I don't want to hear these things anymore, ladies and gentlemen. I don't want to hear it. It was fine hearing it after last season where you thought maybe there was a recovery period where the Bulls can come back. It was fine hearing it when Lonzo Ball got out, saying that this team is not on the same page because of that injury. I get it. But we're now 3 years in. I don't want to keep hearing stuff like this when I know in a week's time we're going to be talking about another blowout, another disappointing performance, and another miserable time watching the Chicago Bulls team. And that's exactly what we see. Talk about the games all you like. Talk about the game reactions all you like. We know for a fact this is going to happen again. So why say stuff like this? Simple as that. But let's talk about it. Zach LaVine had 20 points in this game. And I don't care what anybody says. The must improve for me is Zach LaVine or DeMar DeRozan. It's one of those two. Because I don't care how many points. You could have scored 80 points in that fourth quarter. That does not cancel out the fact that you were playing like a clown in the first three quarters. It does not cancel the fact that you had one of your worst games of your entire career in the first three quarters. And it does not cancel the fact that you were trying to get your stats up when the Bulls game was already lost to try and make it look like it was a decent game. Zach was one of the worst players on the court for both teams in this game. And Damian Lillard didn't have a great game. There were some Milwaukee Bucks players that only played a couple of minutes. Zach LaVine was worse than every single one of them in my eyes. It was worse than most of the players on this Bulls team today. I don't care how many points he put on the score sheet. Zach LaVine was awful in this game. And I don't want anyone telling me otherwise. I don't want anyone looking at the stats and saying, Zach dropped 20, go a little bit easy on him. He was doing his job. No, he didn't do his job. He did his job in one quarter. People had the exact same criticisms on Kobe White the last two seasons, where people wanted him to score consistently every single game, and he only seems to come up at one quarter, and people had critiques on that. So if you have critiques on Kobe White for that, you have critiques on Zach LaVine today for the exact same thing. I don't want to hear anything otherwise. For three quarters, Zach LaVine did not show up for the Chicago Bulls. It felt like he was playing on the opposite team. That's what it felt like. At the end of the day, he was awful. DeMar DeRozan was awful in today's game as well. Got to the line, yes. Had a great, brilliant pass. One of the best passes that will be on highlights for many years to come. That's great. Fantastic to see. Good job for DeMar DeRozan on that. But when it's all said and done, he did not step up to the plate. And I give credit to every other Bulls player for stepping up to the plate when those two, our best two players, our guys that get paid the most money on this team, are the two players that let us down today. Amongst a whole bunch of other issues in there as well, like hustle points, like second chance opportunities, and the same problems the Chicago Bulls have, coaching staff included. All of these things are massive problems for the Chicago Bulls. And it's miserable to see. The must improve will go to Zach or DeMar. The player of the game will go to Nikola Vucevic. I thought he was outstanding in a team where he even got cooked on the other side of the ball defensively. But at least he showed up and played some offense for the Chicago Bulls. At least he did his job rebounding. At least he was doing some hustle plays of his own, where I don't feel like that was a big thing for the other guys today. So, yeah. Look, at the end of the day, it's going to be a long season. And I don't mean to just rant and rage over every single thing the Chicago Bulls do. But let's be honest, man. I think we all expected the Bulls to struggle or at least go into the 500 range, which is still possible. But these efforts that some of these Bulls players are giving on an inconsistent basis is ridiculous. And I don't care what team you have. You will never, ever, ever win more games than you lose if you're being outworked every single time on the court. Every single time. It's not good enough. Simple as that. No excuses. No ifs, buts, or maybes. Not good enough. And we have to see the Bulls do better. I was in the Chicago Bulls Central live stream after the game, and Hay said something pretty interesting to me in terms of being a Bulls content creator. Sometimes you don't have the strength to muster it up. I said it even in my live stream as well. Sometimes you don't have the strength to muster up making these videos. Sometimes you just want to go on a video and rant. Sometimes you don't even want to make the video. You're too tired. You can't be bothered. And that's what this Bulls team is making us feel like every single time. Most Bulls fans don't want to watch the games anymore. I'm one of the first to admit it. Last season, or not even last season, sorry, when I wasn't a Bulls content creator, so about 4 or 5 years ago now, it's 4 years, wow, it is 4 years. You know, next month it's 4 years on the dot. Anyway, I was the first to admit, by January, I stopped watching this team when I wasn't a Bulls content creator. I'll be the first to admit it, because the Bulls team sucked, and it didn't look like it was going to get any better. All of a sudden, we have one good season, then we're back to the same old place again. It is what it is. Our next game is against Orlando, and I will end this video here. Thank you for watching. Drop a like and a follow if you are new, or subscribe. I will see you in the next Chicago Bulls related video. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay tuned for more. Take care, and peace.